Hey guys, this is Shauna, and this is my great-grandma, and today we're making chocolate cream pie.
Okay, so
thank you, Sean. And I'm going to introduce you to the family cookbook. Now, I wrote this several years ago, and in it is a lot of family history, but you can see that each section is about something different. This is about breads and cakes and cookies, and each recipe in here was given by a family member, and there's a little bit written about the family member that gave it. Now we're going to look for the pies. Whoops, I use this a lot, can you tell? Yeah, not only do you see the marks on it, but you also see I add things to it. Okay, here is the pie section. And what we're going to make is Granny Hutch's. I know you call me Granny, but my grandmother would call Granny too. And we're going to use her chocolate cream pie. See where it says Granny Hutch's chocolate cream pie. Now, she had all kinds of cream pie. She had butterscotch cream pie. She had coconut cream pie and banana cream pie and chocolate cream pie. So they're all in here. And we have to use her basic cream pie recipe, and you just add different things to make them taste different. It's sort of like a science experiment. You know, you put in certain things and it turns out this way. If you leave out one of those things, it doesn't turn out right, right? So this is what we're going to do. This is for the filling, and this is Granny Hutch's pie crust. Best pie crust ever. And it tells about when I was growing up, my grandmother didn't measure anything. She just put it in and it always turned out perfect. Well, it didn't turn out perfect for me. So, even though I was about your age when they started teaching me to do some of these things, I had to measure what she put in and then write it down and try it over the years, and eventually I got so I could make a pretty good pie. So in this one, it tells us what we need. A cup of flour, half a teaspoon of salt, a third of a cup of shortening. Now, you notice where the flour is, it says gold medal. That's, she just thought you had to use gold medal, no other kind would do. And I use gold medal, but I use the unbleached because I don't like the bleached stuff in them. And for shortening, we use Crisco, but we use the butter-flavored Crisco. And then 3 tablespoons of ice water, and this is really important that it's ice water. The best pies are made when the ingredients are all cold. You feel that this is cold, and that I keep it in my refrigerator, so it is, so that when I roll out the dough, it doesn't get too warm because you want it to stay cold. So we're going to begin, and we'll need a bowl.
okay, so let's get that together and we'll be right back.
And hello.
For our pie crust.
Well, now we are making the pie crust, you need 1 cup of flour, 1/3 cup of shortening plus 1
Tablespoon.
1 tablespoon, and then put the ice water in. So
How many teaspoons of water?
3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons of water. So 1 cup of flour, 1/3 plus 1 tablespoon of shortening, and 3 tablespoons of ice water.
That's good. Okay. Now, take this one out first and put it in. You're going to have to use your knife. It doesn't like to come out. Okay, good. That's good. We'll pick it up. Here, we can use this to scrape it off because that's what you're going to use to cut the shortening into. Now put the 1/3 cup in. Oh, you need this too. Put that in your right hand. In your right hand. Yeah. It just works better that way, doesn't it? There, see how? Now just scrape it up. You know, that one went a little far. Did you know that when I was teaching Sean, I used to teach kids how to do things like this. The whole class would make pies, or they'd make soup, or they'd make cookies, or whatever it was. And they had to learn all of the measurements of. Okay. This is a teaspoon. You see, TSP. That's a teaspoon. This is TBLSP. Tablespoon. So this is 1 teaspoon. Okay. We want 1 teaspoon of, no, the recipe says a 1/2 teaspoon. Good thing you always look at the recipe, right? Okay, you hold it. And I use sea salt because I just happen to like sea salt. But you could use, whoops, I got a little fold at it. That's okay. Okay. All right, do you remember how I was showing you how you do this? You go down and just keep cutting through it and cut, 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 cut. And eventually it'll get to be really small pieces, and then we'll be ready to put the ice water in.
Okay.
Yeah, just cut down in it hard. Cut, cut, cut. There you go. That's it. That's it. See how it's getting smaller and smaller?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Now I have a new mixer that will do that. But boy, it mixes it so fast that sometimes it gets too far gone for me. Keep going till it gets to be tiny, like almost like sand. Not quite that fine as sand, but it needs to get. Otherwise, you'd have fat pockets in it from the shortening, and the flour then wouldn't have any, and then it would be tough. The shortening is what makes it. Okay, you want me to give it a 1? Okay. It looks like very fine shortening in the flour, very small pieces.
Go ahead and throw that.
Okay. Now comes the magic part, and that is put 3 tablespoons of this ice water. Which one is a tablespoon? Yeah, it has the B. Yeah. Okay. Put 3 tablespoons of this water in that, and they have to be full. So I'm going to take out some of the ice so you can get your spoon in there. Okay. You're going to have to turn it sort of sideways. Just dip it the other way.
With no ice.
Okay, you know, that's cold enough. We don't need any ice in there now.
Because it is full.
No, that's not full. So you have to come at it. Let me show you. You have to come at it like that. Scoop. Okay? We're going to put that in. Okay, do another scoop. Scoop it out. Oops. Okay. I'll tell you what, let me help you fill that. I'll add a little bit. See, if you put it down like that, the water runs in it. Okay. That's pretty good. Put that in. Now see if you can dip it that way. There you go. See how it fills up? There you go. How's that? Okay? And I will sprinkle in the ice water, and you keep doing this. And the first thing you know, we'll have a ball, sort of.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you do the circles. After you do this a lot of times, then you get so you can do both of them at the same time. You can put the ice water in.
Does it smell good, Sean?
Yeah, keep going all around the edges.
It's getting harder.
Mm-hmm. See how it's balling up? Okay, let's see if we have enough in. Yeah, get it all the edges in. We may have to put a little bit more in. And you can sort of tell by whether or not it makes the ball. Okay, let me give it a little whirl. You have to have a feel for it. You get so you have a feel for it after you've done it a while. It looks to me like it might need a little bit more water because it's not quite balling up the way I want it to. So this time you sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle, and I'll turn. Okay, put it over in here. Okay. We've got a big, big bowl here. I think it's gonna do it this time. See how it's all getting incorporated? Mm-hmm. Yeah, good job. Okay, now what I want you to do, did you wash your hands? Before we, okay, time to wash your hands. Before you ever touch food, you have to wash your hands. Mm-hmm. And see if you can make a ball out of it. Mm-hmm. Now, scoop it up together. Oh, it's starting, isn't it? Mm-hmm. You're on your tippy toes. Okay. You're doing a good job. Mm-hmm. There you go. Squeeze it together. That's a good way. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put flour on here, and then we're going to roll it out with a rolling pin. Okay? Hold on to it for a second, would you?
Mm-hmm. If you didn't know what we did, we actually took all of that gooey stuff and the flour and put it, made them into a ball.
And ice water. Ice water is so important.
Put the ice water in.
Okay, and now you're going to roll it out. So you put it right in the middle. Okay, and we're going to press it down and try to keep it together as much as we can and make a ball, make a flat ball. Now, roll this in the flour, just the flour, and that'll help keep it from getting just what I'm wanting is so that it doesn't stick. Okay, when you're rolling, you start in the middle, and you go each way very lightly. See how it stretches out? Now go this way. Okay, now we're going to turn it in the middle each way. Good job. And it stretches all out. Now, we've got a little problem starting here. You see that? Mm-hmm. We don't want any cracks in the pie crust. So we start putting them together. Okay. Keep working. Middle out. A little bit at a time. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we'll turn it again. We want to make it bigger than this circle. Okay. You're doing it nice and gently. That really helps. If you do it too hard, you'd have more of these cracks in it. And you don't want that. I'm going to do a repair job. You do that by, you wet the edges, and it works sort of like glue. Mm-hmm. See, I glued them back together. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now let's go this way. You can give it a little bit more pressure, a little bit harder. Let me even it out just a bit. Now this is what I do. And I think probably everybody who makes pies does it a little bit different, don't you? Just like when you make your recipes. Don't you do them just a little bit different than other people do? because you do things the way you like to do them. See, what you want is from the middle out. Now, measure the pie on it, see if it's big enough yet. Pretty close, isn't it? We need just a little bit more because it has to go on the bottom and then up the sides and over the edge. So we need a little bit more. Here you go. Oops, you're going to have to turn your, I can't turn the crust anymore. It's sticking to the bottom. Go this way now. In the middle.
Go.
A little bit of pressure. See, look at that. I think we're about ready now, don't you? Okay, the way you take up a pie crust and you don't want it to fall apart, because if you just picked up the edge and lifted it, it would all break apart. So the way you do that is you put your rolling pin there and you do that and roll it, and it rolls right up. Now, let's put it in the pan. We're going to do it like that. Not too bad, huh? We almost got it right. Now I want you to very easily, with a smooth hand, push it down in all the corners. All the corners have to be down. Okay, that's good. Now, we didn't quite make it to the edge in some of them, did we? Some places. So we're going to scooch it up with our fingers, or we could patch it like that. See, here's a big piece. Tear that off and let's patch it somewhere. What did I do with it? Here, I lost it. Here, wet the edge there. Right here where we're going to put it. You wet it. No, the dough.
Oh.
Needs quite a bit to make it a little gooey. Okay, how's that? We made sort of a patch there. This one I think we can squeeze up. This one I think we can squeeze up. I think we're doing good. Now comes the fun part. You get to cut off the edge. Down, down. We'll have to wipe off the bottom afterwards because I've got my hands on it and my hands have flour on them. That's pretty good, hey? Now, do you know what fluting means? Do you ever notice on the edge of pies they sort of have a fancy edge? That's called fluting. And you do that with the side of your finger and push down with this finger, just sort of together. And it will make an edge. You want to try it? Do it with your thumb. This way. This way. Now what that really does is it keeps it from sliding down into the pan as it's cooked. Yeah. See, it makes it look good too, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Now we need a fork. And the reason we use a fork, we're going to make little holes in it. I'll do a couple and then you can do the rest. And do all on the perfect. The reason we do that, if we don't make the holes, it bubbles up and makes a crown on it. We don't want that over here. Now do real easy around the edges. Let's turn it sideways so it gets the whole edge, okay? Perfect. Perfect, perfect. And this is Granny Hutch's pie crust. Wouldn't she think that was fun if she saw you doing that? You are, let's see, she's my grandmother. I'm your great-grandmother. So that would make it great-great-great-grandmother.
Okay, so we're going to be right back for the filling, okay?
Yep.
Good job, guys.
What are we making?
We're making, I forgot.
The chocolate pudding that goes
The
in the
chocolate
pie.
So
Because we're making a chocolate cream pie.
you
Did-
need,
Sean, but first I just want to remind you that the oven's up to temperature if you want to put your crust in.
Good idea.
We forgot about that. So it's 375 for 8 to 10 minutes.
8 to 10 minutes.
yeah.
Okay.
So we need 1 cup of sugar,
No, 1/3.
1/3 cup of flour,
3 egg yolks.
3 egg yolks, and
We're going to have a third of cup, but our third cup is busy right now. We'll fill it when it's after.
so a
Okay.
1/3 cup of cocoa.
3 tablespoons, I guess.
So we need 3 tablespoons of butter.
And a teaspoon of vanilla.
And then we'll have some milk too at the end, right?
Oh, milk. How much milk?
2 cups.
2 cups.
Yeah. Okay. We're ready to get started then, Sean. We'll start with the sugar because it mixes easier that way. Here's your whole cup of sugar.
Wait, there's some sticking out.
Yeah, it was a little damp. That's okay. That's close enough. It's all right. No hands in your mouth when you're cooking. Okay, there you go. That's your 1/3 of a cup. Now we need something to stir that with. Help. There you go. Stir it up big. Oh. Okay, now we can do a 1/3 of a cup of cocoa in it.
Here.
Okay, mix that up in there.
Ooh.
Woohoo, all right.
Does it
Smell good? You like that, huh?
Cocoa.
Cocoa.
Ooh, it looks so cool.
I'm going to move these into this one because we need this for our milk. Do you remember how much milk?
2 teaspoons.
Cups.
Cups.
Big amount. Now, do you see on this where 2 cups is?
2 cups right there.
Right there. So, watch carefully. Tell me when I'm close.
Now.
Oh, good. Okay, put in 1 cup. Half of
Okay,
that.
1 cup.
Just half of it.
So, like right there.
Down about here. A little more. That's good. Mix that up.
Oh.
Okay. I was looking for a spatula. Well, they've got 3 egg yolks. That's good. Now stir it again. And we do that before it gets too much milk in it. Otherwise it doesn't mix up well in there. And we want the eggs to mix up very thoroughly.
So we put 3 egg yolks in.
Okay, now this. The
The
last.
whole thing.
That's the last cup. And stir that up well. And
You like the smell of sweets, don't you, Sean? Pinch of salt.
yeah, just a bit of salt. Okay? Can you get all these lumps? Okay. That's good. We're ready to go on the stove now. Okay. And this burner, I guess. So we want it medium temperature. So here's off. Here's, oh, we want this one, the small one. So we'll go
Sure.
halfway would be about 6.
Push in. Push it in.
Push it in and then turn it.
Push it in and then turn. There you go.
Okay. Now, Sean, the secret of this is you have to keep doing this the whole time it's cooking.
Yeah.
Otherwise it sticks, and it's not good when it sticks. You can do it until when it bubbles, it looks like a volcano, like little volcanoes all over it. And the bubbles come up and they burst and make like a volcano.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and let you stir and get it to that consistency, Sean.
Right. Okay,
So-
it's ready to boil now, and when it does, we'll see little volcanoes erupt. See? Did you see one? All right,
Trying to-
see it boiling?
It's trying to
Yeah, that's
get really pudding.
it's getting to be thick like a pudding.
Pudding.
We have to let it boil a little bit to make sure that the flour in it is cooked. We don't want to taste the flour, we just want the flour to thicken it. Now let's watch and see what those little volcanoes do. Now this one looks like it's close. See, that's what we want, is ones like that.
Whoa.
Because then that means it's thick when it does that.
There's really big ones.
But you can see the bottom. You see how it sticks in the bottom of
Oh,
your...
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's get it. Let's get some volcanoes going here. What do you think? You think it's enough?
I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I know the steam. Yeah, look at the volcanoes, see? Well, when I raise it up, it doesn't do it very well, does it?
Yeah. There's big ones.
Yeah, and that lets out steam, and that's what makes it thicker, some of the fluid. What do you think? Let's take it off
Yeah.
and put some butter on it. This is the butter. You get to unwrap it and put it in there. And then
So 3 tablespoons.
that is 3 tablespoons already measured. Okay. And that will melt in there, and then we're going to put plastic on the top while it cools so that it doesn't form a hard skin on the top of it,
It's really melting.
because that would make it tough. You want to stir that butter in there. It's still bubbling because we haven't moved it off of this burner, but it's not like it was.
So we just mix in the butter and then we just put the top,
Just
the
put the-
plastic on until it
But-
cools.
Until it cools. In fact, we could probably put it outside and it would cool faster, huh? Because if you put a warm filling on a crust, it makes it like it steams it sort of because it's still real warm. See all this steam? And it would make the crust a little soggy. So we want it cool before we put it in.
Okay,
Any kind
so
of cream pie, you want
we'll
it
go
cool.
ahead and
Twist your
be
whole-
back when it gets cool and ready to put together.
That's great. Very good. Okay.
So we already got the
Pudding.
pudding.
And it's
And-
cooled off. Almost,
Cool.
it's a little warm, but it's almost
Yeah.
room temperature. This is room temperature. And so we're ready to pour this in. You get to lick the pan. Maybe you'll share with your brother. He can have the spatula. And you get to smooth it out there. Smooth it all out.
Make it nice and smooth. Don't go up too far on the sides though.
Yeah. Here, let's do it this way. So it just gets even across the top.
It's starting to look like a pie now.
That's a chocolate pie.
So we're done with the cooking. Thanks for cooking.
You're very welcome. I'm happy to do this with you. After this sets a while and we're ready for dessert, we'll whip some cream and put on it. And that makes it ever so much better, I think. I like the whipping cream. So
Okay.
that's sort of like my grandmother, and we called her Granny Hutch. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, well thanks for this special edition of Sean O. Cooks and a special, very, very special guest of Granny and the chocolate cream pie. Alright, so we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you. Yes.
So we are back, and we made the whipped cream. And if you don't know how to make whipped cream, you just whip some heavy milk
Cream.
and whip it in whatever you want to whip it in, and then you spread it around the cake, the
What did we
pie.
put in it?
Sugar.
Yeah,
With sugar.
with a little sugar. And
When
now
you're whipping.
shall we cut a piece and show what it's like?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll cut a little piece because it's easy to get out a little piece, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Looks so good.
Whoop, don't fall off on me.
Okay, and in Sean O. fashion, we should have probably a taste to see how it is,
I
right?
think so.
Okay, one taste for Granny and one taste for Sean.
This is Sean's spoon, fork. Looks good, Sean. Nice, crisp. Let's put on it.
Hard. Hard to get out.
Here. How's that? That's good, huh? I think I might have to have a fork and try it myself. Should I? Oh, good. There we go. Tastes like my grandmother's. It does. Good for us, huh? Yay.
So anyway, thanks for cooking with me, and hope you guys enjoyed.
I love
Slap
it.
that like button and subscribe and comment. And I'll see you guys next time for another cooking video.
Thank you.